How's it going, folks? So the band Fortis Ventus just released a new single here called Chaos. They have a new album coming out November 11th. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also just really looking forward to this new song. So, without further ado, let's give it a listen. Rangers, go. Wow, very impressive stuff here. I mean, the orchestrations are just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's just this song has such a grandiosity to it, such a epic kind of sound, and those orchestrations are just glorious. I mean, wow. It really just kind of has such a rich sound, and you just get enveloped in it. It's just epic. Another thing I have to say is that this band really, really outdid themselves on this video. I mean, that is a high quality video right here. A lot of really cool imagery, just cool stuff going on. I mean, that must have been an undertaking, making this video. It was so cool, like riding the horse. I love the green emerald like on her forehead and on the horse's head, and then all the people like in the muck. I mean, it's just cool stuff. And then the way that it looks like it's on that kind of like screen when it like zooms out, and then in the woods and the costuming and I mean, it just looked really cool. So just really, really awesome video. Super impressive stuff. I really enjoyed that video along, in tandem with the music. So super, super cool video. Yeah, I mean, for this song, like I said, the orchestrations really kind of take the spotlight, and just beautiful. I mean, all the little touches, all the different movements, and it was arranged wonderfully. Just incredibly impressive. The arrangement of the orchestrals and all the different instruments used in the orchestrals, and it just again just arranged beautifully done with those orchestrals. Sometimes they're more solemn, sometimes they're real grandiose, and it's just awesome. It felt like a living, breathing sort of thing, with the orchestrals, with the movements and all that. It's just really cool. I can't say enough good things about that. And the guitar, in this band, they tend to lean towards like the symphonic element. And the guitar typically, provides some like heavy riffs, like a nice kind of grounded backing layer, per se. And, never really takes the spotlight so much. It really is, in the orchestrals with these folks. And I like, how it's a cool focus, and I mean it's executed wonderfully. And like I said, the guitars just provide a nice like the heaviness to it, like brings the metal to it, if you will, but without ever really taking the spotlight or anything. It's just kind of there. It all just works together really. But the orchestrals I really think is typically in the forefront, and it just feels like they keep getting better and better as far as the orchestrations go. I just can't say enough good things about that here. And then her voice. I mean, she's got such a lovely voice, a great range, great control and delivery. And I mean, when you have an orchestral piece like this, she's really able to like command the song with her voice as well. Like her voice doesn't get lost in the shuffle. She's got a powerful voice, a wonderful voice, excellent control. Because like I said, even her voice, there's a lot of movement in how it goes. And one thing that's interesting is, at first, I was thinking of it as maybe a slight critique, but the more I listened to this song, I kind of started changing my mind a little bit. But so essentially, like with the vocal melodies, it kind of felt like for a while anyway, like in my head, that maybe they could have been like a little bit stronger. It's like a lot of the melodies they're not bad melodies. I mean, but it's like they're not like what I would say is like super memorable, I guess. They really just kind of, and this is why I kind of started changing my tune, because at first I was like, it's like these melodies, I'm kind of looking for melodies that I can really kind of cling to and stuff like that, but it didn't really go that route. I mean, it started to a little bit as it went. I guess I started getting more used to just kind of how it was going with the vocal melodies. But then, but also it's like the more I was listening to it though, I was like, that's not really the purpose of this song. I don't think it's not to have like a super catchy vocal melody or like really, go that route to make the vocal melodies kind of stand out. It was more of like her voice was just working with the music, and it's just kind of all one piece instead of like, separating it. Like, oh, you have this backdrop of the music, but then you have this nice melody in the forefront that the listener can really, remember, or things like that. It was just more of like, it was just all one piece, and her voice was essentially just another instrument within it, with all the movement and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, and once I started getting in that mindset, that cleared up for me a little bit as it went. And the chorus did kind of start, because even at first I was like, okay, we have like kind of some verses, pre-chorus. It all kind of like blended together, even though there was a lot of movement. But it's not like one stood out more from like the rest, like the verses, the pre-chorus, or the chorus and the vocal melody. But as I was going, I was able to distinguish much better. Like, okay, this is definitely the verses, this is definitely the pre-chorus, this is definitely the chorus. And those melodies started to kind of, I become a little bit more, memorable is not necessarily the word, but they were definitely distinct and recognizable, and the chorus was lovely. It had a nice thing, but so that's why I say it's like, this isn't a song where it's like, oh man, that chorus melody is just woo-wee, that is a fire or whatever. The song, her voice just goes with the music, and it's just all one piece. Like I said, it almost feels like a symphonic, almost like classical type of piece, where you don't just have these vocal melodies that steal the show or anything like that. It just more kind of works with the music to just create one grand piece of work, So, yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, and her voice just is so good. Yeah, man, and I love that bridge. Holy cow, that bridge was so sick. When all those people, like, in the muck or whatever, like, started, like, chanting like a choir, I was like, yo, this is so hype. So hype. And the music kind of kept gradually building. It kept sort of escalating, and it just sounded so epic. And the orchestrals were awesome, and all of that. It was so cool. The only thing, this is just, like, personal preference, but, like, it felt like the bridge could have kept going a little bit longer, because it had like the chorus or the choir stuff, and then it kind of kept building the music, and it felt like just as it was like getting close to where like maybe the crescendo should begin, it kind of just went back into I think it was like the chorus, but anyway, like a vocal melody from earlier in the song, whereas it felt like that was like almost the explosion point. Like it should have kicked off maybe a little bit more of like dynamic orchestral, music going, and maybe just, pick the pace up a little bit and just really, run with it as like the almost like the climax of the song, the epic grand moment before getting back into the vocal melodies and all that stuff for the rest of the song. Or even maybe it felt like it was building up, and then it could have gone into like a guitar solo a little bit with the symphonics going, and just something. It just felt like the bridge isn't short, but it's still just the way it was designed. It feels like it was still cut a little bit short. Like there could have been one more like explosion of stuff, and just really, like I said, kind of pick the pace up a little bit and just really let us have it with that grandiosity before going back into the rest of the song. But still, I thought that bridge was tight, and the choir stuff, the chanting and all that, it was just so awesome. So awesome. So yeah, really, really impressive song here. Really cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to the new album. So let me know, folks, in the comments down below. What do you think of this song here? Are you looking forward to the new album? Did you hear their previous album, which was really solid? And yeah, how excited are you for the new one? So thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Ranger. Out.